as you know, to remember and to grieve and to celebrate the life of John McDaniel. With our stories and our memories, with our love and our laughter, with our tears and our sorrow, we celebrate his life and we remember the legacy of love that he has left behind. My name is Pastor Katie Trinter. I'm the pastor at Kirkwood United Methodist Church, where his mom, Rana, attends. Our hope today is that we would celebrate John well, that we would trust in God's promises, that we would be held in love, and that we would draw nearer to one another as his memory is a blessing. Hear these words of comfort from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Would you join me in prayer? God, who is full of compassion, dwelling on high, grant perfect peace to the soul of John. May he rest under the wings of your presence. Holy and pure, you shine bright as the sky, and may his place of rest be in you, Adonai, our refuge. May John rest in peace, and may his memory be a blessing. Today we will have a time of sharing. I am so excited to hear the love and stories and memories of his closest family and friends. Together, we remember that it's not what he did that is the legacy imprinted on our hearts, but rather who he loved, who he made laugh, who he touched and tended while he lived. Join me once again in prayer. O God, creator of all things, all that you have given us is yours, and you have shared with us the life of John. But before he was ours, he was yours. For all that he has given us to make us who we are, for that of him which lives and grows in each of us, and for his life that in your love will never end, we give thanks. As you first gave John to us, now we give him back to you. Receive him into the arms of your mercy, and receive us also. Comfort us in our grief. Draw near to us with your light. Come, O God, and let your loving arms be wrapped around us. Amen. I now invite Emily to come forward and begin our time of sharing.
Okay, deep breaths. This is overwhelming. I can do this. Ted told me I could. Whew. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. The overwhelming love and support that we've felt these past few weeks. It's been a whirlwind of emotions, but your presence all here today means the world to us. So, as I gathered my thoughts for today, John's pre-work event pep talks came to mind. He felt the need to remind me what John's stories would be on and off limits to share with his colleagues. And I consider myself a professional adult capable of navigating such situations. However, my past actions must have prompted this. So today, I aim to respect his wishes and keep this very PG, which of course limits the stories that I can tell. So we'll keep it to a tight 10 today. But, whew. John, he wasn't just the love of my life. He was my constant source of confidence and sunshine, effortlessly lifting me up and cultivating my best self. His unwavering devotion was evident in the countless times he expressed his love and showered me with heartfelt compliments. In his presence, I always felt like the most treasured person in the world. He's been my whole world the last 20 years, my trusted confidant, my person. A lot of you probably know John and I met in college, and if there is one thing that he likes to tease me about, it's my lack of memory of our first encounter. But at some point, I knew who he was, and I knew there was something special about this guy who always went by his last name, McDaniel. I didn't even know that his name was John, probably for a couple of years. Same thing with Hogan, it was just last names, so very confusing. But, you know, while the details of that first meeting might be fuzzy for me, the memories that we made together are crystal clear, from late night adventures at bars to bonding over class projects. John was always there, making life a little bit more exciting. And as college came to an end, John found subtle ways to show his interest. He never pressed too hard because he said I was hard to read, and it didn't seem like I was interested. But one night, about a week after college graduation, a game of quarters and a spontaneous kiss changed everything, propelling us out of the friend zone. However, immediately following, he changed his phone number, leaving me wondering if I'd been ghosted. Ghosted wasn't a term back then, so I didn't even know how to wrap my brain around that. But thankfully, I had Hogan on speed dial, and I went into stalker mode and tracked John down. And from that moment on, we've been inseparable, talking every day. John and I, we've got a ton in common. However, our personalities could not be more different. I often wear a stoic expression, earning the great label of resting bitch face. Sorry if that wasn't PG enough. John, he radiated warmth with his perpetual smile and effortless ability to just strike up conversations with anyone. But it worked, and we complimented each other. He drew me out of my shell and transformed this shy girl into one of capable of navigating any social setting with him by my side. Throughout our 20s, our lives were a whirlwind of excitement, from fun and crazy late nights at bars to concerts, wild float trips, joyous weddings, memorable vacations. John was a force of nature. No matter how late the hour grew during our escapades, John seemed to have boundless energy, while I learned to embrace his pace, or just call an Uber when necessary. So John was not happy when Uber came to St. Louis, and I could disappear whenever I felt like it. But during a romantic getaway to Key West a few years ago, our dynamic was on full display. As one of our last nights wore on, I reached my limit per usual and retired to bed around midnight, which I feel like is a reasonable hour. But John was not done. He continued to revel in the island's charm for many, many, many more hours. And the following evening, as we wandered the streets, we were greeted at every turn by newfound friends that John had met the night before. Each encounter was filled with heartfelt praise for John and eager anticipation to meet me as they had heard the tales of our shared adventures together. It was in those moments that I realized the depths of John's impact, not just on me, but on everyone fortunate enough to cross his path. John had a gift for making everyone feel cherished, even if it meant being a little too touchy for some at first. Doug, you know what I'm talking about. If he wasn't loved after the first meeting, he was always loved eventually. It's astounding how many individuals, regardless of gender, found themselves confessing their crush on John, often man crushes, and forming a deep admiration for him in the process. His ability to forge genuine connections with my family and lifelong friends was truly remarkable. My friends even joked that they might fight over who gets to keep John in case of a divorce. While some might find this notion unsettling, for me, it was a source of joy to witness the depths of affection my loved ones held for John. John didn't just win over my family and friends. His wonderful family embraced me wholeheartedly. Witnessing John's deep love for his family assured me that he would undoubtedly be an exceptional lifelong partner. His daily conversations with his mom demonstrated his affectionate nature, while his dad instilled in him the values of self-sufficiency and determination. Kathy's profound love for John made her protective, but I consider myself fortunate to have earned her acceptance and now regard her as my second sister. Once I realized that John was the one I wanted to spend my life with, I made my feelings clear. One drunken Valentine's night in our third year of dating, I went as far as issuing an engagement timeline ultimatum. Little did I know, John had already purchased the ring and planned to propose the very next day. Rather than spoiling the surprise, he amused himself by leading me on, pretending an engagement was far, 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 far off. He chose the perfect moment, February 15th, on the rink at Steinberg, and it was worth the short wait. When Lucas and Bowen came into our lives, John transformed into the best dad in the world, immersing the boys into his hobbies and passions, from crafting woodworking masterpieces to fishing, golfing, shooting skills. John's days became a blend of cozy moments, spontaneous adventures, and collaborative culinary endeavors. He orchestrated lively game nights, sports outings, coloring and drawing sessions, and entertaining taste test challenges. John's enthusiasm knew no bounds, always ready to embrace the fun, and frequently indulging in checkout line treats and dollar store treasures. He was the fun yes dad, while I played the role of mean mommy, who seemingly said no to everything. This was another way we balanced each other, and it was necessary, especially with John's talent for acquiring every Amazon and hardware store gadget imaginable. John loved his things and his food and had a passion for fast food and gas station gourmet. He could turn a mundane burger into a culinary adventure by adding a Jack in the Box taco on top. So there's a hot tip. Over time, his and our tastes evolved, drawing us to dabble in finer dining experiences. Olive and Oak holds a special place in our hearts. It's where we celebrated milestones and enjoyed casual, laid-back moments at the bar with a burger and fries. John's culinary curiosity extended beyond patronage. He was skilled in both the kitchen and at the grill, crafting tasty dishes for his loved ones. It didn't end there. He was also the undisputed sauce boss, taste testing and creating mouth-watering concoctions to complement every meal. He even had his proteges, Lucas and Bowen, dubbed the Sauce Boss Juniors, under his wing. And a tradition of sauce surprises, strategically placed throughout our house, became a testament to John's devotion to his craft. His love for sauces wasn't just a culinary quirk, it was a full-blown obsession that infused an extra layer of spice into our lives. We sure had an absolute blast together, but I can say with confidence that while John brought a lot of fun into our relationship, I often surprised him by matching his energy in the fun department. Our first concert, catching Modest Mouse at the pageant, stands out vividly in my memory. I'll never forget the look on his face as he turned to me afterward, remarking, "You're a really fun concert, Dave." The last concert we attended together about a year and a half ago was a monumental occasion, the first time I joined John to see his beloved Pearl Jam live. However, in my eagerness to infuse even more fun into the night, I may have overdone it and ended up becoming the inadvertent party puker all over the bathroom at the venue. It's a legendary story, one that he never let me live down. Glad I could give him a good story, because he gave me so many. The finality of our time together leaves me shattered. Creating new memories together, so we'll have to treasure the memories that we've made. Today stands as a testament to John's enduring presence in our hearts. We gather to celebrate his remarkable life, enriched by his boundless energy, infectious laughter, and unwavering love. Thank you, John, for a lifetime of beautiful memories and for making every day a celebration. Though our time was cut short, we have an overabundance of pictures, videos, and stories to sustain us. We love you forever.